Yo, what is good? I'm back for another one. I've been kind of ghost for a few days or so, trying to just gather my thoughts and get this website together, a bunch of other stuff that I have going on, right? But most importantly, making sure I took a few days of a break so I don't gas out. It can be a little overwhelming sometimes trying to print for a bunch of people, trying to make content. That's not what this video is about. So I don't even want to get off track. Today's video is about my clothing line, Liquid. So Liquid, that guy right there, somewhere up there. Liquid originally started out as a skateboard brand idea back in 2017. I always wanted to drop this line, but I was just never really prepared for it. I tried to get a few things printed up, it never worked out, and I was still working at that time, my regular 9 to 5. Plus, I had my recording studio. I mean, was still there. I was running that full time along with a full-time job, and so I didn't have time to focus on any merchandise. However, the idea still stayed in my head, and I knew that I one day wanted to do this. So then comes COVID-19. Here comes February. End of February, around my birthday, February 28th. February 28th is my birthday, for those that want to know. In case you want to send me a gift, you can start preparing right now because we're a few months away. But really, it was March. I lost my job in March of 2020, March 29th to be exact. And on that day, I was like, man, what am I going to do? No income coming in. I applied for unemployment. That wasn't coming in. There was no help. So I said, okay, I've never just sat on my butt waiting for somebody to give me something. I have to figure out what to do. So then Liquid, the idea was reborn again. And I reached out to a ton of people that I knew were printing apparel at that time. I didn't want anything for free. I'm not that kind of guy. So I was like, hey, I'm paying. Let me know what it costs. I need a dozen or something. I need some hats. I need some t-shirts, just some merchandise. I wanted to test the waters and see if people bid on any of my designs at all. And I only had one at that time, which is the one that you guys see regularly. It's the Liquid with the different colors on there, with the little slime or the drip font, which is an idea and a font that I've had for a long time. Because remember, 2017 is when this idea was originally born. So anyway, so I hit a bunch of people. Nobody. Now one single person was like, I got you. What I got instead was, yeah, I'll call you later on. I'll call you next week. I'm booked up right now. Give me a couple days. Crickets. Nobody, not one single person called me back to help me with my clothing line idea. So then I started to do some research and I was like, okay, this is going to be a little more costlier than I thought. I don't really have the funds right now to invest in this like the way that I want to. So I got to make some money. Why not just start a t-shirt apparel printing business and maybe generate some money that way and see what I can do then. So I immediately started to buy some of the equipment that I needed, got familiar with how the process works. Now, mind you, I did print shirts some years back. I'm familiar with screen printing. I come from that world, but I just never took it on full time as my own business. So I did know what I was doing, but I had to get reacquainted with the new way that the business was working, all the new ways to print stuff. And, of course, transfers and things like that were new to me. And so I took it from there. I also knew that if I used the t-shirt business to my advantage, it would help me musically also. Because remember, I'm a producer, singer, songwriter. So I said, okay, every time I print a shirt, I'm going to add one of my beats in the background. So I just kept flooding, my pages, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, with just a ton of content and my music playing in the background. Then that caught on with a couple of my friends who are musicians. I started to add their music in the background. And so I eventually became, to a couple of my friends, the t-shirt DJ, right? But it also helped me with selling beats because people would be like, where'd you get that beat from? That beat is fire, so and so and so. And I said, I made that. I'd end up selling beats. So I've been selling beats that way also. So it's been great in so many ways to me. But still, I still had this passion for I got to get my line out. However, I still wasn't ready because I felt like, okay, if I put my line out now, no one knows who I am in the t-shirt business or the apparel business, clothing business, right? I don't want my brand to fall off the wayside. So let me focus on printing for everyone that I possibly can print for, continue to put music in the background and stuff. And eventually, as people get to know me, become familiar with my brand, I can just drop it. And I try to drop it a few times, but for some reason, it would never work out. I was originally going to drop Liquid in these boxes, and I still have those boxes. I'm getting a couple more different color boxes to match my clothing brand colors, right? So I'm on Alibaba, and I didn't order yet, but I started to get all these quotes for these different boxes that I wanted. And I found a company. They were like, yeah, 100 boxes is the minimum. I was like, cool, it's a go. Let's do it. This is back in December of 2020. And as I'm getting ready to order these boxes, they emailed me back and said, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. It's a 5,000 minimum. I'm like, I don't need 5,000 boxes. So I had to scratch that. And I, again, said, okay, maybe it's not the time yet. Let me continue to focus on building this business. So I did that for a few more months. And then I, somewhere around February, I paid a guy to do my website. I paid him up front and he went ghost on me. No website, didn't get my money back. And I was like, man, this is impossible. Maybe there's a sign that like I should not be doing this. So then I start telling one of my friends how I just got burned for this website, lost my money. And he says, hey, let me recommend you a guy that I know who does websites. He burned me too. I paid that fool up front. He went ghost on me, did a couple things, gave me a domain, and I never heard from him again. I'm thinking like, why do I keep paying these people? I'm too kind-hearted. So I said, forget it. I'm not even going to focus on that. I'll build something on my own. It was like, what's the site? Squarespace. I think it's Squarespace. So I put something up there. I sold a good handful of skateboards because, I'm into skateboarding. If you don't know, now you're finding out. I'm huge into skateboarding. And so I was pushing a skateboard line because remember, Liquid was originally supposed to be a skater line. That's why I did this little character. It was supposed to be a skateboard line. But, I started to get the attention of other people, other influencers. I think one of the first influencers to wear my line was Reyes. Reyes, the entrepreneur, the homie, came over. We connected, did some business stuff together. But he was the first person to rock that. Then a couple other influencers got theirs. They didn't wear them yet, but they did get them, right? And so I said, okay, so this is not just a skateboard brand thing. Other people can possibly wear this. It could become a streetwear type thing. Let's try that. And so, again, let me go back because I'm going all over the place here. I built this website and I was pushing a handful of skateboards and some of these designs were on there. I sold a couple, but it just still wasn't what I thought it would be. So I said, okay, let me just stop focusing on this freaking clothing line and continue to press again. And then whatever happens, happens. Now, all along, as I'm still putting up content, I'm wearing my clothing line. I'm wearing my brand. I'm wearing hats that I made. I'm showing people how I made these particular hats using my eye color or transfers from Transfer Express or whatever, right? And so people are starting to ask, like, where can I get that shirt? And I'm selling shirts now out of my DMs and Instagram. And I'm like, okay, I got to have a website because, now I'm wearing stuff and people are wanting to buy it and support. I got to do this again. So the past couple of weeks, it just sat on my heart and I was determined to put this line out. I was determined to get my website up. That didn't work out, at least not yet. I mean, I still got the domain name, but we were able to, when you go to that domain, it reroutes you to Big Cartel. Now, Big Cartel, I was familiar with Big Cartel because a couple of my friends use it for their clothing brand. I tried the Shopify thing. I do got an Etsy and everything like that, but it wasn't so user friendly for me. And because it was coming down to the wire, and last week I ran like a little promotion saying, hey, September 15th, this is dropping. There was no way possible in my heart that I can again miss that date and not drop it. So I said, I don't care. I don't care if I have to put it on, on Instagram. I'll sell everything out of there if I have to, because I wasn't getting this new website done. My friend's going through some stuff. He's building his business. And so I was like, I can't. The thing is, and this is with all respect, you cannot, when you're in this type of business or any business at all. In fact, that might be a good piece of advice for you right now is you cannot, friends, family, no matter what, no matter how close you are to somebody, you cannot depend on absolutely anybody but yourself to get it done. Because things happen, situations come up, but you can't let that affect you. So you always have to have a backup plan. And so 2 days ago, I said, I'm getting on Big Cartel. It's user friendly. It's less expensive. I can put up a ton of product. And so I went for it. At the end of the day, if I didn't sell anything, I'm completely fine with that. The fact that now I don't have to what if myself. I'm one of the people, I do not want to what if myself. I have it out there. I put it out into the world. Now it's got to do what it's going to do. I'm still going to run ads. I'm still going to treat it just like my t-shirt business. It's extremely, extremely important to me that this is successful for me. So I'm going to have to do everything possible to make sure that this brand is seen, that it's heard the right way. I can't just let it fall off the wayside. That's not me. When I go in on something, I am all in. until I know that there's just no way for it to work. So I'm sorry that there's no big old backstory behind the way that I came up with liquid, but I was just sitting here and in my mind, as I usually am, and I said, I want to come up with my own clothing brand. I went through a ton of names: Liquid, Slime, a bunch of stuff, and Liquid just stuck. There is another company though, but I was first. I saw this a company that I think they're out of Japan or China, and there's this Liquid. I'm like, holy damn, they came after me. However, what I did is I had to change mine a little bit. So mine now says I wear Liquid. Still keeping the Liquid, brand, but adding a little more to it because I don't want anybody to try to come after me and take what's mine. I'm not doing that. So there's no big backstory. I just sat here and said, I want to put something out, threw a bunch of names in the cup, and that's where we're at today. So I'm hoping it's successful. We'll see. I can tell you for the first day of sales, I sold quite a handful, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so blessed that people even took the time. There's a ton more people coming back. People text me today, called me, DM me, like, I'm coming the next couple of days. I'm ordering mine. So it's amazing to have as much support as I'm getting right now, because usually I'm supporting everybody. I buy something from everybody because I know what that feels like to have your art appreciated and worn by somebody or talked about or reviewed or whatever. I know what that feels like. It's an amazing feeling. And so to now feel that in return, I am so grateful. Now, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I do know that I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to push forward, dropping as many designs as I possibly can, different ideas, rotating things in, rotating things out so that I keep my page fresh. So you'll see a lot of content. And I also want to run a bunch of contests. I want to give my line out to people. I want to send people shirts, socks, hats. I just want to give it away. So I'll run a bunch of contests and stuff coming up as well. But I thank you guys for supporting me. Those who have been with me since day one, since you first heard me say, today I'm starting my t-shirt business. Since last year, if you've been with me, when I made that video, you were a real one. Thank you. For those that are coming in now, finding me, helping me build my following. That's exciting. I'm like a little kid sometimes. Like I'll wake up in the morning. I don't automatically go to my Instagram, but I'll have a bunch of notifications and things like that. And I look at my followers. I'm like, man, it's growing. I always follow everybody back though. I know people have this thing about like trying to like unfollow folks. I don't do that. Now I do need to clear out a bunch of pages that are fake or don't have anything on there. I do want to do that, but for the most part, I follow everybody back. So to look at my page today, I think we're approaching maybe close to 5,000 followers, right? I think we're at 45, 46, I think, somewhere around there. So we're close to 5,000. And I said, when I hit 5,000, I want to do something really big for somebody. And I'm still going to do that. I'm going to bless somebody for sure. It's either going to be a big piece of equipment so they can start their business, or to upgrade a piece of equipment for them. It might be some big money, whatever it is. If and when I get to 5,000 followers on my Instagram, I'm going to bless somebody for sure. But it just feels good to be able to give to people, to receive from people, to be building together. And the beautiful part, like I always say, is that all of this is happening organically. I haven't paid for no apps, haven't paid for no followers. I haven't had to do that at all. Do you know how amazing that feels to my heart? Knowing that I'm doing everything honestly, hard work, and I'm being rewarded left and right because of that. And that's all I want to put out into the world is, just a humble person, a good friend, someone that believes in you, someone that's going to motivate you, someone that wants nothing from you, but just your friendship if it's real enough. That's my personality. That's how I've always been. And I'm going to continue to be that way. And I know it's kind of a rambling session again, as usual, because I'll be rambling my ass off. But I thank you guys for watching. And that's the story behind Liquid. And I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know how it goes. And thank you for watching me and supporting me and what I do. I love y'all. I truly do. Let's grow.